Hi, it's Matt here for Newsshooter.com at IBC 2018. I'm with Les from Cooke. Now, this is your brand new range of anamorphic full-frame primes.
That's exactly right. You know, last year we introduced the S7s, which were full-frame spherical lenses, and immediately people were saying, well, let's do full-frame anamorphic. And we said, okay, we like to give people what they want, and we like to innovate, so we went home and we thought about that, and this is the result. They're 1.8 squeeze on full frame, and I'll give you a little background on how we came up with that. In theory, to take a 3:2 aspect ratio to 2.4, it'd be a 1.6 squeeze. The problem with 1.6, it's like being a little bit pregnant. It's not really interesting, and frankly, if you're not going to get the anamorphic character, what I've dubbed the anamorphic funkiness, why bother to shoot anamorphic? Just shoot spherical. You can crop it to widescreen, not a problem. But the only really good reason to shoot anamorphic is the character of it. And at 1.6, you don't get it. So obviously we looked, okay, so let's look at 2, which is the traditional squeeze. And we looked at that, and the problem with that is you're losing about 25%. To crop it to 2.4, you lose about 25% of the pixels. So that's too much. So we came up with 1.8, and the beauty of 1.8 on a 3x2 sensor, if you want to shoot 2.4, you lose about 10% of the pixels, which is an acceptable loss. If you want to go full frame and use the full still frame, you're at 2.7. 2.7 is historically, 2.76 is Ultra Panavision. So we're not in new territory. And in 2.7, if I can flip this monitor around for people to see, is actually, other than we're looking at my shoulder, let me get out of the shot here, is actually it's actually a pleasing ratio for some of the stories. So I think it gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you the anamorphic character. It's perfectly great at 2.4, and at 2.7, it's going to knock your socks off.
Are these based sort of on the S7 in terms of?
Well, everything we do is based on what we did before. So it's sort of a S7 plus the anamorphic. Obviously it's a more complex lens because we have to cover a bigger image circle. But yeah, everything we do is based on something we did before, and then we get creative. A lot of our lenses do have patents on them, and sometimes we get very creative to solve the problem.
Now this is the 50mm, which is the first one that you're showing. You're going to be rolling out other focal lengths over time.
Hopefully between now and NAB we'll have the first 4. That'll be the 40, 50, 75, and 100. And then following on from that with a 32, a 135, and a 180. And we hope to have all those out by the end of 19.
And also there's a new addition to your Pancro line, a macro.
Well, actually several new additions. The most exciting one is the new 65mm macro, which is just a lovely lens. Whether you use Pancros or not, it matches obviously the Cooke look, so it could fit anywhere in the line. We've also at this show here have a 21 Pancro Classic, and that they will be joined by a 27 and a 135 and a 152 sometime between now and the end of the year. So we've been really busy.
Thanks very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.